Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Rundown, where we talk about 2A news and conservative views. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
That's right. My name is Mike Piwowarski, coming to you live from the East Coast. That's the coast with the most, from the co-host with the most here on The Rundown. 2A views, conservative news. And Craig, how was your weekend?
My weekend was dandy. I have to tell you, the weather has been beautiful. Low 80s, nice breeze. We've now hit fall here in California. And, man, just been enjoying life.
I had a conference this weekend in Savannah, Georgia, right? And I don't think I left the hotel. I think it was, all the restaurants and hotels and bars inside. In fact, Saturday night, we were sitting on the inside bar, and I'm like, man, there's an awful lot of people sitting outside. Well, I'm comfortable here inside. And then I realized, wait, I'm not in Florida. And I walked outside, and it was like 80 degrees and perfect. And I was like, where's this been? Where's this been? I can go outside now. I can go outside and have a drink. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. So
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, it's been a trip, man, in California recently. It was a crazy weather because, they're talking about climate change, but this had to be one of the more moderate summers that we've had. I mean, with the exception of a few days where you had 100 plus, which we have every summer, seemed to be and by the way, and then a couple of times it raining during the summer. Seemed like a pretty good, pretty chill summer for when it comes to winter. And the fall is starting off just as blessed.
yeah, listen, the climate change is nonsense, right? Can we all agree upon this? Is this going to get thrown off the air again? It's a quarter of a degree difference or something. Did you complain, Craig? Is somebody under 25 years old ever complain about how hot it was or how cold it was? No, because you're outside. You're doing your work. You're doing what you're supposed to do.
But you do know the climate change does cause racism.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Now that you're an adult and you own an air conditioner, now you can sense temperature, right? Now you know what temperatures are. Now get away from that thermostat. That's now you get it, right? But it's just because we're not 14 anymore, and the parents aren't going, go spend your summer outside. I'll see you in September.
There you go. That's how it was back in the day.
Yeah.
Look, we survived. Look, we survived off of water out of a hose.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, let me tell you something too. When I moved to Florida late in high school, right, and then we spent the summers outside. When we go to get the hose, I learned you have to turn the hose on first to let the hot water get out, right? But you also had to, before you even turn the hot water out, you had to point it away from you so the lizards and snakes could come out of the hose.
Oh, you're telling me you didn't let the new kid drink first?
Oh, well, I might have been the new kid in town, but I was never the new kid.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Good stuff. Well, hey, before we get into today's program, why don't we go ahead and start off as we usually do with a quick shout out to our sponsors.
We shall. Let's say hello to our good friends at Hitman Industries. That's hitmanindustries.net. If you got yourself an AR in the past 5 years, odds are you probably got one of their barrels and you don't even know it. Well, now you can buy from them direct at hitmanindustries.net. That's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. Make sure you check out the California 6th congressional race while you're there. If you want the best tactical concealed holsters on the market, get your butt on over to Hog Holsters. That's HAWGholsters.com, HAWGholsters.com. Use the discount code The Rundown. That's all one word, no cap, or excuse me, all caps, no spaces. Get a nice little discount. And if you're going outdoors, want some tactical gear for hunting, fishing, camping, hiking, whatever it may be, you can get everything but the gun at uscombatgear.com.
That's right, folks. Please take a moment, visit our sponsors. It's real easy. All you got to do is follow the links in the description of this program. Check them out. If you like what you see, spend some money with them. Make sure you tell them it was the guys over at The Rundown that sent you. Also, want to encourage you, if you haven't already done so, however you partake of the program, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're a subscriber, whether you're just listening to us on a podcast or you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, OpsLens, whoever you are partaking. We don't care how you partake. We just care that you partake. So do that and encourage your friends to do the same.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a guy like that in college used to say that too. Man, we don't care how you partake as long as you partake, you know? So,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. All right. Well, hey, let's go ahead and get into today's news stories, and we're going to start off with the Biden administration. And in case you didn't know, there's a crisis going on at our southern border. This has been a crisis that, yeah, the White House has been bragging for quite a while after Title 42 went away. They had been bragging. They're like, look, the number of people illegal entering the country has gone way, way down. Well, it didn't really go down. It's just they changed the status of people so that they could allow them to they made it easier for people to just walk in and not quote unquote be illegal, but they were illegal still nonetheless. Anyway, all that having been said, well, now there is a huge surge that is taking place at our southern border. In fact, they are seeing record numbers. Now, you might recall that this time last year we were seeing record numbers again before. Well, now we're seeing even more. And here's the crazy part about it. Here's the thing about the story that we're talking about today, though. The thing is that the Biden administration knew that it was coming. That's right. They knew the surge was coming. Internal documents show. And guess what? They did absolutely nothing. It says here, the Department of Homeland Security was aware that a large population of migrants was preparing to cross the southern border months before a near record number surged into the country this month. Internal documents obtained by the Washington Free Beacon, go Washington Free Beacon, show, but appears to have taken no action to forestall an influx that has overwhelmed local officials across the United States. The documents show that Mexican immigration authorities have seen a spike in apprehensions since May, an indication that border crossings were likely to rise and that federal agencies documented a large buildup of migrants on the Mexican side of the border at the beginning of September. Now, Mike, we know exactly why they did this. They basically did this because they want the folks to come. They want them to come into the country because they believe this is going to be a new voting bloc for them. And the other thing is that they actually have no plan to stop it. They don't know what to do because they can't do what works, which is, build a wall. They can't do what works, make them stay in Mexico as they apply for asylum status. They can't do what works, which is in particular, when you know someone is here illegally, you put them back out of the country. All of these things that they know work, they can't do because, Trump did them, and that would make them mean, evil, nasty, racist like Donald Trump. So we dare not do what works.
yeah, Craig, it's hard to think that the administration would lie to us about this. I just find that absolutely, not surprising at all. You could stand on the border. Anybody could look at across the border, Craig. It's not like they're staging 20 miles back, hidden by obstacles, so no one has any intelligence about the numbers there. I mean, they're literally across the border. They're at the border checkpoints. They're at standing on the opposite side of the river. You could see the congregations of them. This is again more of this administration just like you said, lying to the public because they want them here. It's not like they don't want them here. They want them here for exactly the reason you said, so they can come over and vote. Craig, I wouldn't be surprised, and I don't have the intel on this. I bet you as they're coming across the border, they're giving them these driver's license applications because in many, many of the states now, a driver's license application is also your voter registration form, right? So I'm sure they're getting those in their packets. It's hard to believe. And I have the solution, Greg. I know we can't put walls up, right? I know we can't have them remain in Mexico and all that nonsense. Now we can't do that. And I've got one word for you: trebuchet, right? We just start putting trebuchets up on the border, right? Putting MREs in them and launching them across the border, putting little inflatable tents in them, launching across the border. Let them have their villages on the other side of the border, and we'll just keep supplying them from our side with the trebuchet.
What is trebuchet?
Oh, that's the old medieval launcher. It was the one that would launch the giant balls of fire and send it across.
Okay.
It's like a giant slingshot, like the giant slingshot from the ground. It would do.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just old school technology. Just launch stuff across the board. Bring me another case of MREs and send it across. Yep.
But why bother staying over there when all you have to do is get over here and you're gonna get a free cell phone, you're gonna get free healthcare, you're gonna get well, now they're trying to set it up so that you can get a job. 500,000 Venezuelan immigrants, they're promising them jobs, the ability to get jobs here in the United States. Let me just for those of you who don't know, right? Having a bad economy, having poor economic policy is not fleeing an oppressive government. You're fleeing a bad economy. You're fleeing bad political judgment. And what you need to do is change your politicians, change your leaders, and you won't need to come all the way to the United States. But no, you come here, and then the worst part is that a lot of them want to elect the same exact leaders here in the United States.
Yeah. So the second part of the trebuchet plan, Craig, why they would stay on that side of the border, right? One, we're going to be supplying them the goods via trebuchet, right? But if we catch you on this side of the border, we'll be returning you to Mexico via trebuchet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not exactly. Can't exactly refer to that as very humane, but it would be entertaining.
Well, I mean, listen.
You'd only have to return one or two before people are like, "Yeah, nah, I'm good."
That's it. Exactly right. One or two examples out there. Give them some paste on wings or something. Make it like an effort. Look like we cared. And that's it. Just enough.
There you go, Mike. Anyway, folks, it is amazing now to hear even Democrats talk about this problem and this crisis. And what's interesting is it's both interesting and amusing to, first of all, to hear some Democrats actually blame Democrats, which is good. That's actually refreshing. But then to hear them somehow tell us that this is Republicans' fault. Now, wait a minute. I'm like, the border policy we have right now is being implemented by a Democrat. When we had a Republican in the White House, we didn't have this problem. We didn't have anywhere near this problem. Once we got Joe Biden was when all of a sudden we start having this problem. When we had Democrats controlling both houses of Congress was when we had this problem. I don't understand how people can blame Republicans for Democrat policies. The only thing I can think of is you blame Republicans for letting Democrats become the majority.
Yes, right. But Craig, that's so obvious though. It can't be the problem, right?
Can't be. Obviously can't be. Anyway,
no.
I don't know what's up with these people. Anyway, I have no idea. Anyway, moving right along. Bob Menendez, if you follow politics at all, is synonymous with corruption. He has been, first of all, he's a senator from New Jersey, which probably tells you all you need to know. A Democrat senator from New Jersey. Yeah, okay. Corruption kind of comes with the deal. All right. But this guy is so bad and so brazen that he got caught with like $500,000 worth of cash and gold stashed in his closet. In fact, his wife got arrested trying to trade gold bars for jewelry. Right? This gold bars that supposedly they got from Egypt in order to help them out. Anyway, what's really funny about it is that even Democrats now are starting to call on Senator Menendez to resign. Well, that is all but members of the Senate. So in other words, there are no senators, Democrat senators, other than John Fetterman, who are willing to call on Bob Menendez to resign. Now, mind you, He was already acquitted. When I say, well, I can't say acquitted. He wasn't acquitted. He was tried 6 years ago and found guilty. Not found guilty. It was a hung jury for a bribery case from like 6 years ago. And so here he is now, 6 years later, being indicted again for a completely separate charge. And like I said, this time they found like a bunch of money and gold in his closet. And Mike, how bad is it when if you are so corrupt, if you are so inept that John Fetterman is calling on you to resign, you know it's probably time for you to resign.
I mean, what was he wearing when he called for him to resign? I want to see. Was he wearing the hoodie and the shorts?
Oh,
Was he
I'm
still
sure they
wearing
just
hoodie and
released a statement. I didn't see an actual press conference.
Yeah, I mean you're right. Listen, if the one guy in the Senate that shouldn't be there in the first place, and he's calling for people to be ousted, I think you got to lend that some credibility and go, oh, okay, take him with you when you leave. All right, let's go. Get out. Get out.
Yeah. It is amazing to me though that, and here's the thing. Now, one of the reasons why I think this is coming forward is they're trying to show that the Justice Department is not biased against Democrats. And so they're going to go after the most obvious low-hanging fruit. And I'm like, no, you have low-hanging fruit. You already have someone right there in your crosshairs who we already know is influence peddling. He just happens to be in the White House. That's the low-hanging fruit you need to be going after.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely right. Get him out. Get it done.
Yeah, it would be nice if they actually, decided to do their jobs and actually remove him. I can tell you right now, he has been removed from, at least from the Foreign Relations Committee, which, by the way, is where he has been getting all of this grift or graft. What's it called? Call it graft.
Right.
That's where he's been getting all of his graft from, is from the Foreign Relations Committee. Right. And what's also interesting is he has now come out and pulled the race card and said, they just don't like seeing a Latino being this powerful.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. It has nothing to do with the crimes you're committing at all. None whatsoever. Yeah.
None. Yep. Absolutely none. Absolutely positively none.
No.
All right, moving right along. We talked last week about the new Office of Gun Violence Prevention that's actually being introduced. It's supposed to be a cabinet level or a White House level department that's actually supposed to monitor policy relating to gun control. Basically, it's gun confiscation. And they put none. The interesting thing was, and the thing that I missed in the pre-introduction of it was that Kamala Harris was going to be the head of this new department. Now, Mike, it must be because she was so wildly successful as the border czar. They had to make her the head of the head of the gun confiscation department in the White House.
Let's not forget she's also head of the AI the policy committee. She's the AI czar, so as well.
The Democratic Party is the only people that I know of that are actually incapable of creating artificial idiocy. Because that's what that's what it is. It's like, can you really make not artificial intelligence, artificial idiocy? Because she's ahead of it, so she's in charge of managing AI, she's in charge of monitoring the border, and now she's in charge of gun violence prevention.
Yeah, I'm not sure her idiocy is artificial, though, Craig. I'm pretty sure it's
real. It's natural.
Absolute idiocy for her. Absolute idiocy.
We have seen her idiocy all natural, and it's genetic. What?
It is absolute idiocy. AI.
It is absolute idiocy. It is not artificial. No. I guess that's how you battle artificial intelligence, is with natural idiocy.
That's right. You bring out the people from Idiocracy and let them fight each other out. There you go.
That's what it actually is starting to feel like. It is literally starting to feel like we are in Idiocracy. Like, I cannot believe the things that lawmakers are proposing that they actually think should become law. And then some of the
Yeah.
things that people, I'm still for the life of me. I mean, otherwise reasonable people, I'm like, how do you not see the evidence right in front of you of the corruption of the Biden family? Now, mind you, is it 100% conclusive evidence? The only reason it is not lock him up conclusive evidence is because the FBI has been dragging their feet in investigating. But I know this, people have been convicted and sent to jail with less evidence than we currently have.
Yeah, yeah. And listen, Craig, to give you evidence of the absolute idiocracy we have, I give you the Democrat testimony that if we put too much people on the island of Guam, it might tip over. So we want to make sure that doesn't happen
Yeah,
because the island of
a
Guam
Democrat said that. For those of you who
might
are
tip over.
watching and you are a Democrat, I hope you didn't vote for this person, but
Yeah, yeah.
it might be a good time to hide your eyes in shame because they
Google
are
it
a
up,
member of your.
folks.
Not that we don't have people in our party that we are ashamed of, but at least when we recognize they're, we're like, yeah, they're.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Even Fetterman would vote to not tip the island of Guam over. So
He might.
yeah.
Anyway, all right, this last one. Uh, I could not believe this when I read this, but it was in Breitbart, so it's got to be true. It's on a sign, so it has got to be true. There is a group that is out there. They're planning to put up billboards that say God's plan includes abortion. Group plants pro-abortion billboards in pro-life states along highway to Illinois. A group that promotes normalizing abortion has lined up 6 billboards on Highway 55 through pro life states leading to Illinois, one of which falsely reads God's plan includes abortion. Shout Your Abortion, a far left advocacy group, placed the billboards in Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, and Tennessee, all states which have outlawed or limited abortions. The black and white billboards, which face travelers heading to pro abortion Illinois, also include messages such as abortion is okay, you know what's right for you, and abortion is okay, you are loved. Now, a lot of these statements I'm like, I disagree with, but they're not sacred. To say something like God's plan includes abortion, I'm wondering, what God do you serve?
The Democrat Party, the DNC. That must be their god because there's 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 no God out there that I know that would want you to kill children or anyone else, unborn babies. We know the misrepresentations of gods in the past led to wars and human sacrifices and the cutting out of hearts, and it's nothing that a modern intellect would say that this is anything that any all giving superpower would want of us. There's no way God wants you to go out and kill yourselves to prove your love for him. This is even we're not in the medieval times. We're not in 3,000, 5,000 years ago, Craig. It's modern day, and now that everyone has a modicum of intelligence, I think it's easy to see that those were not real, right? Those were. I don't want to get too much into the history of it, but the few that had the power of knowledge and be able to read, would influence the masses that did not and were unable to. And it's not society today. I don't know how anybody could pick up the Bible and take a glance at it and come away 10 minutes later going, "Oh yeah, we should be killing unborn kids. That's what we should be doing for God."
Well, especially in an era where science more and more is proving uh, confirming when or if not when life begins, at least when the signs of life begin. The
Right.
heartbeat, brain activity, all of
Yep.
these things we're starting to see earlier and earlier in the gestation process.
Yep.
I I believe that reasonable people can disagree on whether or not abortion should be legal and at what point it should be illegal. I happen to believe that that a child is a child, and that we ought not be taking innocent life in the womb. Uh, some people don't believe that, and I think that reasonable people can disagree on that. But you cannot say that you are a Christian and disagree with that, because then what you're saying is, well, I believe in God, I just don't believe him.
Yeah. Right. 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 Yeah. Well, there'll be
Yeah,
plenty of time to judge him later on.
yeah, I don't demand that every person in these United States subscribe to the same religious beliefs that I have. Uh, but do not denigrate my religious beliefs by acting as if you know or under by clearly misrepresenting those beliefs. Now they could be talking about another God. I don't know what other God they could be talking about. I don't believe it would be the Jewish God. I don't believe it would be the Muslim God. It could be the Democrat God of government. That's the only other thing, or it could just be Satan is their God.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Or like we have a lot now, we have people with no belief in any God. So that's part of the problem.
Well, but that's why the whole, Satan is part of God's plan, or not Satan, abortion is a part of God's plan, is like, well, wait a minute now. If you don't believe in God, then what's that all about?
Yeah. Right.
Anyway,
Right. Yeah.
I just think they ought to be a lot more careful about stepping into people's faith like that. I think what they're doing, quite honestly, is they're not ascribing or mentioning a part of faith. They're basically mocking people of faith, is what they're doing with those billboards.
Right. Correct. Correct. Yep.
That is the plan. All
Yes.
right,
Yes.
moving
Yes.
right along, it is time for our parting shots. Parting shots brought to you by Hog Holsters. Just go to hogholster.com. Get your Hog Holster today. Make sure you use discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces. Get your Hog Holster today. All right, this first one, you're going to love this one because we know that President Biden is really, really good at the gaffes. And this one, well, let's just say he messed up twice on this one. And let's see if you can catch the mistakes.
Two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's an MC Light.
Okay. Did you pick up the two gaffes?
I did. Obviously got his name wrong. It's Ladies Love Cool James, LL Cool J. And I'm not sure we call grown African American men boys anymore. I'm not sure
No, we do not.
that's it. Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
No, we do not. But you know what's funny is he'll get away with it. Now,
Yeah.
Trump says the word rigor, and because it sounds like another word, he's deemed to be racist. This guy literally called, and by the way, this is not the first time he's called a grown black man a boy.
Yeah.
Ain't the first time. Definitely is not the first time. Anyway.
Nope, definitely not.
Speaking of some other fun stuff that has been going on, you know that they changed the dress code there at the Capitol. And, well, let's just say that there are U.S. Capitol janitors are wondering why they are required to dress nicer than senators.
Yeah, that's a real one, folks. This is, we're talking about the steps to idiocracy. Here it is, and it has to do with, disrespect for the institution, and this is what you get out of Fetterman. Listen, I'm a shorts and t-shirt guy, or maybe a polo shirt every now and then, because I sit in that semi-retired state at this point. But when it's time to dress up, and like I had to do this past weekend, it was shirt, tie, dress pants, uniforms, all that good stuff, because you've got to play to your crowd. And if you want the institution to respect you for who you are, then you can start respecting its rules instead of changing the rules and dumbing them down for you.
Well, Republicans are getting into the spirit of it, because here we have Senator Rand Paul showed up at work at the Capitol barefoot, wearing a red bathrobe after the Senate changed the dress code to accommodate John Fetterman.
Excellent. Excellent. Did he do any baptisms out there? It looks like he could have done some baptisms wearing the robe.
It does look like he's ready for a baptism, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, I have one more. I have two. Actually, I have two more here. Both are videos. One of them I'm going to play from the YouTube channel here. But let me let's see here. Let's go there. Shut that down real quick. And I got to set it up here so that I'll be prepared to do it. There we go. And make sure I got the audio going. Okay, and the audio's on. All right, here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I'm supposed to... Oh, okay. So this is what a boucher is. You said started at 1:30. So let's move forward.
Trey Boucher, rather than have to take the whole assembly process, Trey Boucher shows the last of the set and then what it does. This is... This would be probably like a quarter size.
Okay.
That's a regular size Rand Paul.
Well, I know. Just the problem was when I moved it over, I didn't have audio underneath it. Now let's move it back. There we go. Now we got audio underneath it. Go ahead and talk.
So this is what a trebuchet looks like a giant medieval slingshot, and it throws. And watch. Imagine this piece of water is the Rio Grande. Look, here we go. Kaboom! Here comes your MREs. Oh, stay over there. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, we got one more video here for you folks. You'll love this one. For those of you who are believers and fans of the Lord's Chicken, you'll love this one.
Chick-fil-A. I could eat there 7 times a day, where the people laugh and children play. Oh, I'm in love with Chick-fil-A. Suddenly, I need waffle fries in front of me, with some nuggets and a large sweet tea. Oh, Chick-fil-A, you set me free. Kids, get in the van so we can go there today. But their stores are closed, oh I know, 'cause it's Sunday. Chick-fil-A. What a dirty, rotten trick to play. Now I have to settle for Subway. Oh, I'm in love with Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A.
It is the Lord's chicken. It is the Lord's chicken.
There you go. It is the Lord's Chicken. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And on that note, the show is just about done, but we've got one more thing that we got to do today, Mike. That is give a quick shout out to our sponsors.
We shall. Let's say hi to good friends at hitmanindustries.net. Hitmanindustries.net. You can get rifle and pistol caliber barrels in any length you want for your next AR build, or rebarrel your current AR rifle or pistol. That's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly, fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. Make sure you check out the California 6th congressional race while you're there. And if you're going outdoors, going tactical, going hunting, going fishing, no matter what you're doing, you can get everything tactical you need except the gun at uscombatgear.com.
That's right, folks. Please take a moment, visit our sponsors. Just follow the links in the description of this program. Make sure you tell them the guys over at the Rundown sent you. And that will be it for today's program. We very much appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you liking and sharing the program. Encourage your friends to do the same. We'll be back tomorrow on Taco Tuesday. Y'all enjoy. We'll see you then.